So I've gone for Antrumps green, and I haven't done anything to these. I haven't prepped them at all. I like the fact that there's loose rust on there, because when we come to pick it off, it'll be a more natural finish, a chippy feel. So I'm going to load my brush quite thick and tap it on all over. I'm going to do quite a few coats of these, I think. Really thick. As it starts to dry, you can see all the good stuff underneath, all the grot. Which we'll have fun picking off later. So it looks sort of unsightly at the minute. It's quite bright green, but with this one, it is gorgeous. With some dark wax over the top. Can't get a nice green, but as it is, it looks a bit like Slimer. It won't stay that long. Not that for long. There. So I want to keep going over it. Load it up. Yeah. Look hot. So the paint's cured overnight. I have only just done one coat actually. See what you think with yours, but the rust is starting to show through here, which is really good. So I'm just going to use an old scraper just to gently pick away at the flakes. I don't want to leave any scratch marks, so I'm trying to be as careful as I can, so a longer process than potentially like. It's starting to look like a natural aging look. I like to see the nice chunk there that's come off, which looks good. So I didn't sand it before I started. I like the thought of having these to pick at. So we can gently go over the whole piece. Gonna look gorgeous. So now I've gone over it all, chipping away at all the flakes, I decided to then go over it with quite a fine sandpaper, a 240 grit, just to expose the edges a bit. And bearing in mind I have only put one layer of paint on it, so I didn't want to risk any scratching with a heavier duty sandpaper. I want to kind of keep it authentic, aged. So now we're on to the clear wax that we need to put on all over before we start any shading. It'll start to tone down the green already. You put it on. It will take some off as well, but that's okay. I'm going to do the whole candlestick in clear wax and then go over it and buff it all off again. So it will pull more paint off, but like I say, I'm happy with that. The less is more. I'm really happy with how they're looking. I really like old aged distressed pieces of furniture and artwork. Right up my bag. So yeah, I'm just going to carry on, do the whole candlestick, and then we're going to get on to dark waxing. So the clear wax down, if you can see just how nice that is looking, the chippy feel. So with a brush, I'm going to use Annie Sloan's black, and we're just going to cake the whole thing in it to start. Getting into all the spots. Not very good at angling this camera, I'm afraid. I'm trying my best, but hopefully you can see clearly how it's looking, because I certainly can. It's looking blooming gorgeous. So we're just going to do it in sections with the black. Pull it off. See how it's really toned down that green, made it into a really rustic, aged, gorgeous green. I love it. So we can see the difference here already. So with a different brush, a smaller brush, we're going to do the edges and really pull some of these curves out. So I'm just going to tap it in. With a cleaner brush, and tap round it just to add a bit more shaving, more grot. We like grot. Just pull it out a bit. Like it hasn't had a wash in a few years. That's how we like it. Yeah. Let's keep going round it. And with the clear wax underneath, if you think you've gone over the top with the black, it is easy enough to sort of pull off again. But if it does cure, whoops, if it does cure and you can't buff it off with a cloth, obviously, then you use your clear wax over the top to pull any black off that is dried and you're not keen on it. So keep adding it is what I'd suggest. Just go small and then go back to whatever you want. Pull it up higher, take more off. Yeah, here we go. Decided this needs a little bit of a glam, so I've got some gold gilding wax here. One's in Empire Gold, one's in Antique Gold, and I've decided to mix the two together to make more of a brass, coppery shade. So what I'm going to do is carefully use a brush, wipe lots of excess off. Pretty potent stuff this, and you don't really want to get it anywhere else on your piece because it is really difficult to get off. It won't rub off, you'll need to use some clear wax, but we're going to gently, because we don't want to have it too solid, so we're just going to gently go over where you want them to be. Just brings it out a bit. If you go a little bit overboard, just a cotton wool bud, tap it off, because we still want to see the green and the wax underneath it. Just brings it out a bit, just breaks the piece up a bit. You could go down the sides, anywhere really on here, but I'm just going to keep it sort of simple really and just do this bottom piece here. But I think that really finishes it off. Really pleased with this set of candlesticks. I might keep them.